Welcome to DataViz Daily. I'm Kevin McGinley, and for the last couple of episodes we've been focused on just kind of giving you a quick glance at some of the new visualizations that are available in Oracle Data Visualization Desktop 12.2.2. And I wanted to kind of wrap up that sort of segment, if you will, talking about the two network visualizations that are available in this new release. So what I thought I'd do here is go back to the Tag Cloud visualization that I did quite a number of episodes back to look at what are sort of the words that the candidates are saying the most. And in this case, we can see here, we're filtered on Trump. We're looking at a word count of greater than 19 across all the different debates. And we've got a filter here that filters out a lot of the most common words. Not all of them. We still have some words in here that we don't sort of really care about, but this filters out a lot of them. And so what I thought I would do is use this as the basis to kind of get into these other two visualizations. And if we go to our sort of visualization drop down here, we have the circular network and the network. So let's go to the circular network first. Honestly, this is the one that I think is the least valuable because it sort of replicates a lot of the same things that we've already seen, from the Sankey, from the parallel coordinates, from the chord diagram. But what you can see here is that we've got all the words listed, and we've got lines kind of going into Trump, which is right here. So it's just a sort of circular way of presenting all of the data, much like the chord diagram was. So that's interesting, but let's sort of move past that visualization because what I think is more interesting is the network diagram. So if you've never used a network diagram, this is actually more helpful when we can get sort of multiple layers of relationships going here. So in this instance, for example, we're showing all the words sort of attached to Trump, and that's okay. That's not really interesting in and of itself. But what gets really interesting is when we want to look, for example, what are the words that sort of both Trump and Clinton are talking about? So in our tag cloud originally, we wouldn't have seen that as easily. It would certainly appear, but the words may not be sort of the same. We were showing them by color in a prior episode. If I come in here and add Clinton to the mix, what you see now, and I'll make this larger in a second, is that we can actually have Clinton here as her own sort of center point, Trump as his own, and then here are all the words that Trump says, here are the words that Clinton says the most, and here are the words that they sort of each individually, not agree upon, but both use a lot. And if we come here and increase this word count a little bit so that we get a, better number to work with, and I shouldn't have clicked that button there, but let's jump up to 24. This gives us a little bit of a better view, makes it a little bit easier to see. So you can see here again, Trump in the center, Clinton, or Trump at the center of this sort of diagram, Clinton at the center of this diagram. Here are words that she says, here are words that he says, but here are words that they both say on a pretty frequent basis. Now, some of them are not really that valuable. That's, I've, just, not really that interesting, but certainly country, president, people, whether that's intentional on their part to say those words a lot or whether it's by accident, it's kind of interesting that those are words that they're both, sort of saying a lot in their debates. So this is a great example of how you can use the network diagram to get sort of another dimension into sort of analyzing these relationships that wouldn't have been quite as apparent from the tag cloud itself, as well as some of the other relationship diagrams that we've shown over the last couple of days with the chord diagram, the Sankey, and the parallel coordinates. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of how the network visualization can be used and in what sort of situations it can produce something that's more evident to you than some of the other visualizations. But for this week's DataViz Daily, I'm Kevin McGinley. Thanks for watching.